This is My Tucson TV's In Focus, a discussion of issues and events in Tucson and Pima County, with your host, Bob Lee.
Good morning. I hope you're having a nice weekend. Wingspan is a community center that's well known for promoting the freedom, equality, safety, and well-being of lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people in Tucson. Wingspan offers information and resources related to GLBT life in Tucson. You can talk to volunteers, you can use their computer center, and you can peruse Wingspan's library of GLBT-related literature. Now celebrating its 20th anniversary, Wingspan is looking back, moving forward. More on this in just a minute. Stay with us. Looking back, moving forward, that's the theme of the 20th anniversary of Wingspan. This is the 20th anniversary year. My guest this morning is Jason Cianciotto, who's the Executive Director of Wingspan. Thank you very much for being with us. Before we press too far ahead, what's the mission of Wingspan?
Wingspan's mission is to promote the freedom, equality, safety, and well-being of lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people in southern Arizona.
So I got it right when I introduced this discussion. You actually rejoined Wingspan April 16th as Executive Director. What were you doing before you came back to Tucson?
Sure. I had an incredible opportunity to work for one of the two national gay rights organizations called the National Gay and Lesbian Task Force. And for 4 years, I was the research director of their think tank, or Policy Institute.
And that was in what city?
In New York City.
Quite a difference from Tucson. In that line of work, what were some things that you may have learned that you've brought back to Tucson with you?
Sure. I have to say that one of the most important lessons I learned, it reminds me of the end of the movie The Wizard of Oz, right? Dorothy is talking to the wizard, and right before she goes back to Kansas, and he asks her what she's learned, and she said, "The next time I go searching for my heart's desire, I'm going to look no further than my own backyard." And so while I feel like I had an opportunity to have great impact on our movement at a national level, I was reminded of the fact that it was Wingspan right here in Tucson that had such an important impact in my life when I was a youth and came out in the youth group. And I wanted to come back home and give back to the community that gave so much to me.
Now New York City certainly has a lot to offer, culturally and so forth, economically. What were some of the things that obviously went through your mind when this opportunity, number one, to take this position came up, and number two, you said, I think I'll accept it. What were some of the things you were thinking about? I mean, sure. Just as going to New York City is a big change, coming back would be a big change.
Sure. Well, Tucson, number one, Tucson is home. You know, I first moved here in 1995. I was 19 years old. I hadn't come out of the closet yet. I was reeling from going to school and being teased and tormented like so many other LGBT people still are today. I had been rejected by some members of my family who couldn't accept having a gay son. And my father and his wife and brother and sister offered an opportunity for me to come to Tucson, establish residency, go to school at the University of Arizona. And so this really became my home. It became the place where I could establish who I was, and it's the place that inspired me to pursue a career in professional activism.
Now, one of the things that probably changed was you were associated with Wingspan then, and then you went away, and then you came back.
Yes.
Was Wingspan a little bit different when you returned?
Sure. Wingspan certainly grew dramatically. I had the great opportunity to be Wingspan's first staff member back in 1998, and now I'm coming back, and I'm the executive director of an organization with 20 staff. When I first interacted with Wingspan, we were at a small storefront on 4th Avenue, and now we have 3,000 square feet of office space. Our number of programs have grown, but at its heart, Wingspan is still the same place that provides people opportunity to establish home, that provides people opportunities to heal from some of the experiences that we have growing up in a culture that still is not accepting of lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people.
What are some of the significant issues that you'll be dealing with and have been dealing with in terms of Wingspan's approach to providing social services to the community?
Well, I think that we see, even though society and culture has changed so much, certainly even the experiences that I had in 1995 or growing up and going to high school are less prevalent for youth. I mean, nearly every high school in the Tucson area has a gay-straight alliance that youth can go to. But we still see people coming in who have been rejected by their families, rejected by their faith communities, or who have experienced employment discrimination in the workplace. And so we provide an opportunity for them to access the support that they need to heal from that experience and move on in their lives and even grow in who they are as a result.
What about advocacy? Is the organization still taking strong advocacy positions?
Absolutely, and I think that's one of the areas where the community is going to see us grow moving forward. As I've assessed the incredible programs we have, I realized that we put Band-Aids on wounds that should never happen in the first place. And so I think that while we'll continue to grow our programs and our support for the community, there's an important second piece, and that piece is preventing those wounds from happening in the first place.
I want to talk a little bit more about the advocacy aspect. There's a proposition on the ballot that's a tad controversial, and we'll get to that in just a minute. Stay with us. We'll be right back.